All right, there we go. We're live.
I love it.
Don't say anything we'll regret now.
That's right.
Practically ever, but cool. Well, today I am here with Scott Jensen. Scott is a former client. He's now a graduate, very exciting, and living his bad self in Denver. So I just wanted to invite him on today to share a little bit about his coaching experience and answer the kinds of questions that a lot of people ask before they enter into a coaching relationship. So we'll skip past the standard, what is coaching? But I just want you to tell us a little bit about you and your work, and then we'll get to talking about the coaching experience.
All right. Well, about 8 years ago, I moved over into real estate and started out as a real estate investor. Ran that route for a little while, and for a number of reasons, it took me to just getting my license, becoming a real estate broker. And when you're self-employed and when you're in the fire or in the lion's den with so many other lions out there, somehow or another you've got to put yourself above everybody else, and you've got to break through those ceilings. You've got to somehow, I don't know, differentiate yourself from everybody else in the pack. And so that's I guess the reason why I hired Courtney and why I was looking for a business coach. But yeah, I'm a real estate broker, and well, we'll talk about exactly what's going on, but good stuff.
Yeah, perfect. The real estate market, especially in Colorado, I don't know if anyone is unaware of just how bonkers it's been. So you're right that being competitive and having just some kind of edge was really important. I remember early on, you were working a lot on the service side of your business. And I think some of the things that we worked on was helping you to become more of a leader in your industry, because I think a lot of people can serve, but having what it takes to become a leader is really important. So with that, what would you say was your biggest takeaway from the coaching experience?
Well, real quick, just off your last comment right there, leadership creates service. So if you're looking to be in service, if you're looking to lead with a service heart, which is what I do, when you start leading, you can just do that even more. Mm-hmm. So just to go off that, but anyways, to answer your question as far as the biggest takeaway from the coaching experience, I think for me, 100% is just confidence. To walk into any situation, walk into anybody's house, walk into anybody's living room, and just know that I can do this, and that I've got the tools, and I'm going to be thinking about them first, and I'm able to convey that to them, that they are the most important thing on the planet, which they are. We're talking about people's, a lot of time, their only investment. And I mean, it's really no joke when you're buying and selling houses and dealing with people's money, especially in hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's coming up with a plan. It's becoming organized, and just getting yourself grounded and feeling confident. And that absolutely was the biggest takeaway from the coaching experience.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. I think confidence is huge no matter where you are. If you don't have confidence that you can check people's groceries out, you're going to encounter a lot more friction in the world of your work than is necessary. If you walk in and like you said, you are organized, you have the team, you have the backing, you have everything you need, then it's just a matter of doing it. And I think it's really important and inspires more people to work with you, which ultimately will create a successful business. I mean, provided you have the skills. One of the questions people ask me a lot of times is, well, Courtney, do you have experience in this particular area? And I am not a real estate agent. Did you find that was a problem in our coaching, or?
No, because we were dealing with foundational structures of just leadership, of how to break through those ceilings, how to grow yourself from, well, in my case, an individual into a team leader, and like you say, get that team developed behind you. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It's how do you take where you're at in whatever your industry, and how do you break through those ceilings? How do you grow to the next level? And one easy way to do that is put people behind you, get team members behind you that can help take you through those ceilings to those next levels. And that's 100% absolutely what you've done.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, a ceiling is a ceiling is a ceiling. It doesn't matter if it's glass or corporate or anything else. At the end of the day, they're all kind of the same. So that makes sense. Who would you say would be a good fit? I know that I'm a little bit odd sometimes. I mean, I come off with the pink hair and all of this, and people are like, what do you do?
It's just fun, and there's nothing wrong with having fun.
Oh, we have a lot of fun. I know in your house you've got some crazy like DJ-esque styles going on. But
oh yeah,
besides someone who wants to have fun, who else do you think would be a good fit for this?
Yeah, we crank it up. But I mean, I chuckle when you say that, only because anybody who's self-employed, anybody who has a business, anybody who's looking to grow, anybody who's looking to get to the next level, anybody who's looking to have a team behind them to make it easier to get through business and to be more successful faster. That's who would be a great fit for you.
Yeah, no, perfect. I remember we did some diagram on the whiteboard early in the coaching that was like, look, you're here and you want to be on top of X mountain. And is it going to be like a straight shot? Probably not, Yeah. But we get to decide how we do this. And if you don't have a guide, it's kind of like trying to climb Mount Everest without a Sherpa. It's just, you're going to risk a lot more. It's going to cost a lot more in the long run than the initial investment of somebody who understands the mountain you're trying to climb.
Right. And one easy way to get that direct route is part of the way to get to that direct route is, by hiring you and being able to understand what that route is and what that route entails. And the reason why I say a part, because there are many things that will come in place to get you on a straight line, on a fast trajectory to reach the top of that mountain. But are you willing to take the necessary steps to go that route, or are you going to take the stairs and take the slow route out, and a lot of times reinvent the wheel in some things that you just don't need to. You just need to hire a piece, or you need to buy a piece of software. You need to hire an agency. You need to get admins. You need to whatever you need to do, but you need the foundation, and that's where Courtney comes in to give you understanding of how to take the fast track.
Yeah, how to leverage every little bit so that you can just move on up the mountain. I mean, there are many ways to climb a mountain with your 2 feet or, a helicopter. And I'd say a helicopter is way more fun. Plus you get there faster. If what you want is to be at the top, I think speed is of the essence, and it's either going to take time or it's going to take money. And which ratio of both is what you get to decide as a business owner, which is a beautiful experience.
Yes.
So we have a lot of fun. Would you say overall that it was worth the investment? Because I know that for most people, investing in coaching is usually one of the big investments they make in themselves and in their business. And anything more than $300 to $500 tends to put people on their heels like, whoa, how is this going to return? Because it's not just a direct, like, I pay for this and I get a car. It's something that's so much deeper and more intangible. Did you still feel like afterwards that it was worth what you invested?
Well, I like your comment there of deeper and intangible, because when you asked me, was it worth the investment? I mean, investment's obviously money, obviously dollar bills. When we first sat down, I mean, we sat there for like a good 2 hours, just, sharing, I guess, and talking and talking about where I was and where I want to be. And so I don't think that was it worth the investment. I don't think that I was thinking dollar bills at that point in time. And I think that's the reason why I just said, yeah, let's do this, because I wasn't thinking about dollar bills.
Yeah.
I was thinking about investment in me, in my business, in who I am and where I want to be. I don't think you can put a dollar amount on the confidence. I don't think you can put a dollar amount on the growth. And I don't think that you can put a dollar amount on the success that I've seen since we got together. I mean, it's absolutely next level. So
yeah, no, I think that's awesome. It's so cool to see just how many things fell into place. And were they coincidence? Was it a placebo? We'll never know. But at some point,
It worked.
yeah, it worked. And the world around you can tell, when I'm looking to invest in someone, especially if I'm looking to use someone to help me with my investments, like a real estate broker or a financial advisor, someone like that, I care about the integrity of their life. And when they say, oh, I'm a serious car guy, and they show up in a Geo Metro, I have questions, and those questions will bleed into everything else. So I think one of the things it does, if you are also in a service industry, is it communicates that integrity and the intention you have in your own business. You're like, no, look, I invested in myself. I invested in my business. So when I ask you to do it, I have the authority. And people don't challenge it as much because you've put your money where your mouth is. You've put your intention and your time investment and all of that to getting where you want to go. And it also communicates it to yourself. You're just like, well, we're doing the thing. Like we already wrote the check, we already committed the time, we're already headed to the meeting, like we're just doing it. And there is something to be said for that will reflect in your business. And you might have thought, oh, maybe this real estate thing will work out, maybe it won't, maybe I'll go back to something else I've been in a former life. But at some point, when you make investments in yourself, you put yourself in a position where you can't fail. We don't like the phrase too big to fail, but you put yourself where you all have all of your faculties on board that says we're climbing the damn mountain and there's no going back.
Yeah, I mean, I was absolutely spinning my wheels, and I was face plastered against that ceiling, and I could not break through. And at the end of the day, in most anything, you get what you pay for. And you go and get yourself an online coach that you get to spend 30 minutes a week with, whatever, and by the time you get to your end of your 30 minutes, you're finally starting to get somewhere, and all of a sudden session's over and it's $1,000 a month or whatever it is. I've gone through that kind of stuff, and you sit there and bang your head against the wall even more. It's like, why can't I break through the ceiling? I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm doing everything that they're asking me to do, and you get what you pay for, and you really, I mean, if you want to kick it up a notch, just call Courtney. Just say yes, just do it.
Just freaking do it.
I mean, she'll call you out. I mean, she'll sugarcoat some things here and there and bring you along, but she'll also tell you how the cow ate the cabbage as well. So which is what you need. You need somebody strong, and you need somebody who just has the insight. And man, I tell you, it's crazy what goes on in Courtney's brain. So some of the coaching sessions that we have, it's like, man, where did that come from? And it's exactly what I needed to just take things to the next level. It's been phenomenal.
Yeah, awesome. Wow, thanks so much. I'm blushing now. Well, let's wrap it up a little bit by talking about you, because I think people want to know a little bit more about what you're doing. Like we can talk a big game and talk in vague, like, oh, I was selling a house and now I'm selling 2 houses. Mm-hmm. And for you, that might be big, but I think from my experience, you're doing some enormous things. You were doing multi-million-dollar deals, transactions, investments. You were involved in helping people with estate planning. You're doing so much. So what's some of the highlights of what you've got on the horizon this year?
Oh boy, I tell you, I don't know if we have enough time to really go into the depth of everything that we do. I can tell you that my traditional real estate business, has, quadrupled. In real estate, you have a cap with your brokerage, and a portion of your commission goes to the brokerage to a certain $1,000 level. And, it's difficult for agents to cap. I capped in a month and a half.
Wow, so, for the whole year?
Yeah. So everything for the rest of the year is 100% mine.
Wow.
When it comes to commissions. From a overall business structure, you mentioned the estates. It gives me the confidence. It gives me the insight to be able to go out there and figure out what's the best way to take this wing of the business. And there's a company called Care Patrol that I partnered with, and what they do is they take seniors and move them from their forever home into independent assisted or memory care living. And of course, something needs to be done with the house. Well, through all my real estate investment background, I can flip a house, like this. And I've got the contractors, I've got the project, I've got everybody in place for this. The cool thing is that I flip the house for the homeowner. So we just go in and we look at the neighborhood and we, dress this thing up so that it sells for the top dollar that it can in that neighborhood. And at the end of the day, these seniors that are moving from their home into independent assisted living, average $4,000 a month is what they pay. Wow. It doesn't take a mathematician to understand that a $400,000 house that we'll just say they're going to receive $400,000 is not going to last that long. So what is that? Probably about 7.2 years. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Yeah. So it's an exciting wing of the business, and you really get your hands dirty. But I'll tell you, at the end of the day, you sit back in your chair and you say, "Oh, that was awesome." Just how of service that you were, how helpful that you were, and with that leadership ability, with that mindset shift that Courtney brings you, that's where you can go. Then when you're talking about, multi-million dollar, we're working on an $82.5 million development project right now. And the only reason why something like that happens is well, once again, just confidence, walking into a situation, being able to dissect an $82.5 million project and break it down and really understand that it doesn't matter if it's 8.25 thousand or 8.25 million. It's 82.5 million. Sorry. It doesn't really matter what the numbers are because the steps are the same. Yep. And all you're doing is just rinse and repeat. It's just more zeros at the end of the day. And it's not a scary thing anymore when you've got foundations to live in, and you've got people to leverage. And that's how I'm starting to ramble, but that's how Henry Ford made it, is he leveraged everything around him. Somebody else had already made the car. It's just nobody knew how to market it, or nobody had the team to market it. Well, Henry did, and now you own one. So, I
do. I actually still drive a Ford. Man, they are just.
I love it. I love it.
No, it's good stuff. That's amazing, and I think that, to your point, 8.2 anything, 8.2 cents, $8.2, 8.2 billion. At the end of the day, it's just money. You're moving it. You're just exchanging value. And more importantly, the people that you are doing business with are just people. It doesn't matter if it's a multi-billion-dollar oil tycoon or if it's the little old lady down the street who just needs to pay her bills. Understanding people are people and how they work is really important. And that starts with understanding yourself. Right. How do I show up in the world? How do I feel about what I can accomplish? And how can I take that and leverage it to help others do the same? Well,
hi, are you there?
Oh, yeah, it looks like we're
live, or is this just live?
I love glitches. Anyways, that's awesome. I think we'll wrap it up there unless you had anything else to say, because I really appreciate you taking time. I know that you're incredibly busy doing all of this awesome stuff that we geared you up for. But it's just really been a joy and a pleasure working with you, and I can't wait to see it around Denver.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, if you're watching this video and you're just wondering, does Courtney have what it takes to get you to the next level? She does. Just hire her. Just write something in the contract that there's a 2-week money back guarantee or something like that. Seriously, she'll take you to the next level. It's money well invested in yourself, and it will get you to where you want to go.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Scott. I'm going to stop that recording now.